I don't want to work for 30 years for a gold watch. Happiness comes in many different places. And like millennials, I have my hands in many different side dishes. I like to think of my life as a buffet line. Picking up a colorful salad, some mashed potatoes, some fries, a carb, and every now and then a dessert. Take my company, for instance. I started my company over a year ago, having no clue what I was getting myself into. I thought maybe I'd have a few salespeople by now by my side. And lo and behold, a week ago, I had over 30 people that now work for my company, all embracing my vision, all enjoying the journey that I never even knew existed. I started a campaign with my company called Real Products for Real People last summer. It was a huge turning point for me, and my company is all about my own vision. I knew I wanted to make a difference in the world. In order to do that, I had to focus on a few things. I had to include my vision to not have stock photos, no retouching of anyone whatsoever, and showing people that confidence is possible. This is my amazing team that believe in me, that have believed in me from day one, and encourage me to be a better person. This is my company. I had the honor of being asked to partner with Clemson University and North Carolina State University. As part of my company's initiative, it's to educate on skin cancer awareness, educate to save people's lives, and also confidence. I'm going to be working with them on their sun safety program with their turf management students. It's not entirely altruistic because my husband is in the golf industry. So as you can imagine, I have some gain in this too, and I want my husband to be around for quite a long while. I had the honor last week, as I was prepping for my TED Talk, to get a call from a national television show that was interested in my company. 2 months ago, I never thought this would even be possible. I never even thought my company would have 30 employees. And here I am being asked to be considered to be on TV. I can't really talk about that any further, but I'll keep you guys updated. So here I am, standing before you. 2 weeks from now, I'll be standing on stage in front of 3,000 people, competing for Mrs. Virginia. I am currently Mrs. Loudoun County. My company sponsored Mrs. Virginia last year, and somehow I stand before you with that title. I know nothing about pageants, never have. I always chased the white coat and how to make the biggest difference, whether it was with myself or worldwide. I can't even believe that's me. So here I am, standing before you, and this is probably the proudest moment of my life. I was 23 years old. I had the privilege of being asked to work with a hospice program in conjunction with Mayo Clinic. So I took myself and I left Virginia and I went to Minnesota, and I started the first pilot program for the homeless in downtown Minneapolis. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but somehow I managed to get by. It was my dream to impact people on a level that was never done before. Most hospice programs can only afford people's benefits through Medicare. So I literally put on a t-shirt and a pair of jeans in sub-degree temperatures and went homeless shelter to homeless shelter in downtown Minnesota. I got multiple people on hospice. That was huge for me. That was a turning point in my life and the proudest moment to date. I had several people upset at me because of my dream and told me that that would never be possible. But many people did not die alone, they did not die in the cold, and they died with dignity. This is what I like to call a popover, because this is super, super important for me. It makes me who I am, And I'm standing before you today because I had a wonderful friend that I'm so honored that even asked me to be considered to do this. And so I'm standing here before you today as I'm prepping for my company, managing a team now, prepping for my TED Talk, prepping for a show. This is what I like to call the fries side of it, the fun side of it. But none of that would have ever been possible if I didn't ever stay humble and stay true to who I am. No matter how many good things you just heard me talk about, I will never forget who I was and all the things that have happened to me to get to this point. Many of them I like to call sides, if you will. My company's been through ups and downs. It's been through hurdles. I've had many plates in my life, if you will, on my buffet line that have crashed and shattered right in front of my life. When I was 19 years old, I suffered a severe heart condition, and before I knew it, I had a handicap sticker on my car. I couldn't even go to Target across the street from my house, and I never even thought I would be able to pursue medicine or anything else for that matter. When I was 23 years old, I was diagnosed with chronic pancreatitis. I have no idea where that even came from, but after 6 surgeries, they still didn't know what was going on. I'm happy to say that I made it to Mayo Clinic literally 2 months after my last hospitalization from pancreatitis. The last hospitalization I had for that was 6 weeks. My hospice company literally thought I was going to be their patient, and I ended up at Mayo Clinic. I have no idea how that happened. So then fast forward, I'm in Minnesota, I'm working on this project, I'm working with the homeless, and next thing I know, I end up in the hospital again, and several surgeries later found out that I have severe endometriosis. But I got through that too, and I made it back here, and now here I am with my company. All of that would not have been possible if it wasn't for the love of my life. Everything I do, the drive that I have, the millennial that I am, is because of this man. Everyone always asks me, how in the world do you do what you do? How are you so driven? How are you so passionate? How do you wear 5 hats in a day? How are you so disciplined? And this is the true reason of why I'm standing in front of you today. I haven't heard many people say in the last few years, no matter who I'm talking to, how important their significant other is to them. This man truly is my soulmate, the fire that lights me from within, and the reason I am so unbelievably passionate about everything I do in my life. So then you have these gorgeous cupcakes, if you will, on my buffet. I was very blessed to have 2 beautiful twin boys after I was never told that I would have children. After all my surgeries, they kept saying to me, you would never have children. And I ended up having them. Not only did I have them, but I even defied those odds. And I'm once again standing before you. Literally, after having my second son, I completely flatlined on the table. I was definitely stubborn. I fired 3 doctors during my pregnancy. I fired my last doctor a week before I had my twin boys. That's probably unheard of too. And sure enough, looking back, I probably should have listened maybe a little bit more. But I had my 2 sons, and they didn't think I was ever going to come back. So you can imagine that's probably one of the scariest times of my life. And at that point, I made a huge decision to leave the medical field and pursue my dream. I didn't want to work for the gold watch. I wanted to be the ultimate entrepreneur, make a difference, have a company, hopefully that became worldwide one day, but not just any company. I wanted my values, that what I stand for in my personal life is what I also stand for in business. I want my boys to grow up and know all of those things. I want them to understand that they have a huge buffet line, that they can pick off anything on that buffet that they want. But most importantly, I want them to have that vision, and I want them to be successful, but I also want them to stay humble and true to who they are. I have a very strong code of honor, and I take that very seriously. So for me, that's very, very important to how I raise them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I get the Best Parent Award, because as you can imagine, most of the time when I tell people all that I'm doing, they either get really tired or they get a headache. So I definitely don't get the Best Parent Award, and that's okay with me, because at some point in time, you have to make a sacrifice somewhere. So my hopes and my desires are that everything that I'm doing right now in my soul and all the beliefs that I have are for my boys, are for my team, are to make an impact on the world, take things to a much bigger place, but ultimately show people that millennials now have a huge buffet that they can choose from. So if something doesn't go right, like many things haven't in my own life, I turn that around. So a plate breaks on the floor and crashes. Well, the great thing about a buffet is you have unlimited amounts of plates. You just pick one up, go back on the buffet line, grab some more food, and start over again. And that's what I have done time and time and time again. And that's what I really hope that most people start to realize. Most millennials nowadays are not really searching for that long job commitment. They're searching for the journey, they're searching for what brings them joy, what brings them purpose in life. And by thinking this way, it enables you to really focus on multiple different things. So that's really my takeaway from all of this today, is to really encourage you to focus on what are your own code of ethics, what are your morals and values, do you match those with who you are when you're home in your PJs than you do when you're at work? Are you the same person with your family that you are with someone else? Because that's truly how I really believe that I am, and that I want other people to realize that they can do as well. People see through that, and for me, it's very important that no matter what success comes my way, that always stays true to who I am. So thank you guys so much.